So, one of the most important concepts when we are thinking about being a shooter is getting locked. Getting locked means locking down your spot in your greatest spacing, and this is what can really separate good shooters from great shooters. So, as we go through and we practice and we do our train, um, it might feel like we're not shooting in-game shots, and it's tough to train in-game shots without defense. But right now, we are working on wide open catch and shoot threes when we are locked in space. Now, as a coach, one of the most valuable assets to me are catch and shoot players that can lock a spot in the greatest space and stretch the floor. So if we go through this film, we can see this in action a little bit here. We can see that shooters, we are staying locked in space right now. So our shooters, they are staying as space as they can. Devin Booker, he locks himself in space to knock down this three. This is a great example here of great ball movements. So we find a big advantage, and we have a small advantage catch, locked in space, ready to shoot. Okay, on every catch, we are ready to shoot. We're locked in space so that we can get loaded and stay on balance. So we are locked in space here. We go one more to another player who's locked in his greatest space, where he's still a threat to score. Small advantage +1. And on this catch, he already knows he has a small advantage. He's locked. We one more to Kyrie, who has probably still a small advantage, but he +1s it to a shooter who's locked in space. So all of these players are locked right now. They're locked in space because there's no pen that has happened. So we don't have anywhere to move. We can't creep towards the ball. We can't cut to the net yet because there's been no penetration. So we are locking ourselves in our greatest space so that we can knock down a wide open shot. Okay, this is a great example of locking down our space, staying locked, and knocking down our shot. Okay, if you're a player that can lock down the baseline, you are going to be a valuable asset to any team. So here, as you notice, we aren't creeping. We're not creeping towards the ball, okay? We're not coming towards the ball. We are locked in space. His hands are up. He's ready for the catch. And notice how even in the NBA, passes aren't perfect, right? So we got to be ready to catch and shoot up anything, okay? Not everything's in our pocket. He catches locked, okay? Good pen here. Great feed. Okay, it doesn't just have to be threes. Here's another example of shooters staying locked in space, okay? We get a paint touch, and we have a lockdown player in the corner, and we can +1 all these advantages to get a shot up, okay? So it's really important that we understand that what we are training is locking down a spot to knock down a wide open three, okay? We are locking down a spot. Josh Hart here. Is that Josh Hart? No. Okay, but we are locked down in the baseline, okay? Hands are up. We're ready to shoot. We got all these other players locking down their spot. One more. All three of these players are locked in space. We're not creeping towards the ball. We're not cutting towards the rim too selfishly, okay? Which lets us one more. These dominoes keep falling for a big advantage three. All right, we got the bench celebrating. It's great ball movement. And lastly, okay, we have shooters who stay locked in space. You see Klay Thompson, he locks here. Boom.